Think of the trait you cannot stand in other people. The arrogance, the neediness, the laziness, the emotional drama. According to Carl Jung, that thing you hate is almost always living quietly inside you. He called it the shadow. Right now, searches for shadow work have climbed more than 400% in the last 3 years, and most people doing it are doing it wrong. Jung introduced the shadow in 1948. He defined it as everything in your personality that you have rejected, suppressed, or refused to claim. The disowned material your conscious self insists is not me. The shadow is not evil. It is unowned. And Jung argued that the parts of yourself you exile into the shadow do not vanish. They go underground, and they begin to run your life from beneath the surface. Modern psychology backs this up with terms Jung never used. In internal family systems therapy, developed by Dr. Richard Schwartz at the University of Illinois, the shadow shows up as exiled parts. The wounded, ashamed, or angry inner figures we lock away to keep functioning. Dr. Dan Siegel at UCLA calls it disintegration of self. The labels change. The phenomenon does not. The reason shadow work is exploding right now is not a vibe. It is fatigue. Surface-level self-help, the affirmations, the manifestations, the gratitude lists, has hit a wall for a generation that suspects something darker is driving them. People are searching for the part of themselves they cannot reach with positivity alone. And they are right to. Here is the trick of the shadow. You do not see it directly. You see it in projection. When someone triggers you out of proportion, when a stranger's behavior fills you with disgust or rage, Jung said, that is your unowned material reflecting back at you. The intensity is the signal. We rarely have a strong reaction to a trait we do not also carry inside us. The cost of an unintegrated shadow is steep. A 2018 paper in the Journal of Personality found that people who scored high on suppression of negative self-traits also showed higher rates of relationship conflict, work burnout, and emotional volatility. Robert A. Johnson, the Jungian analyst who wrote Owning Your Own Shadow, put it bluntly. What you do not own owns you, but the integrated shadow becomes fuel. Dr. Connie Zweig, who trained at the C.G. Jung Institute, argues that the disowned anger inside us is also our missing assertiveness. The disowned ambition is also our missing direction. The disowned needs are also our missing capacity to receive love. Owning the shadow does not make you darker. It makes you whole. So how do you actually do shadow work in a way that does not turn into another Instagram aesthetic? The clinical research converges on 3 concrete moves. You can start any of them tonight. Move 1 is the trigger journal. Each evening, write down one moment that triggered you that day, not the event, the trait you reacted to. Then ask one question. Where does this live in me? The first 3 days you will deny it. Around day 7, the pattern starts to show. Most people find that the traits they judge most harshly in others are quiet versions of their own buried fears. Move 2 comes from internal family systems. Sit somewhere quiet. Bring to mind the part of yourself you most dislike. The needy one, the angry one, the one who freezes. Then, instead of fixing it, ask it what it is afraid of. Schwartz's clinical work shows that exiled parts soften the moment they are listened to instead of managed. You do not need to defeat your shadow. You need to interview it. Move 3 is the envy audit. List 3 people whose lives or qualities trigger something in you, even mild irritation. Beside each, write what specifically you envy. According to Jung, envy is the shadow's compass. It points exactly at the part of yourself you have not yet allowed to live. The artist you abandoned. The risk you did not take. The voice you silenced. Envy is not a sin. It is a map. If this resonated, subscribe to Daily Psychology so the next research-backed deep dive lands in your feed. Share this with one person who keeps trying to fix themselves from the surface. The shadow is not the enemy. It is the part of you that has been waiting, patiently, for permission to come home.